welcome back to the channel, and this is going to be a sort of interesting video, but it is something which the fan base is currently talking about, and very loudly, might I add. And first of all, I'd like to react to the Fulham game, which I happened to miss because I was sleeping. So I'm actually glad that I did not watch that because I would have crashed out. Like, after having seen the highlights, I think we had a good first half. I'm not going to try to pretend like I know everything that happened during the game, but from what it seems, we had a really good first half. And Cunha hit the post and he missed a 1v1 chance, which would have been like crazy with the Ederson like ball which Bayern played. So yeah, we had a good first half. I think Euro was very good apparently. But as a team, you know what? I'm not going to talk about the players because I think yesterday's the 2 points which we dropped yesterday are all on Ruben Amorim because like every single player is not going to have their best game. So you need to have an actual plan of who you'll bring on. Like the substitutions need to have some sort of coherence, some sort of clarity, as to what you are like trying to achieve by them. You can't just bring on players because they're available. And a lot of people were commenting, I saw, regarding bringing on Ugarte instead of Mainoo. And to be fair, I agree with that because, like, what are you saving Kobbie Mainoo for? Like, if you want an attacking, not an attacking, but if you want like a change, sort of a positive change, isn't Mainoo a better option than Ugarte? Yes, he's not, through and through like holding midfielder, and he has gotten exposed like in that position, and he should be realistically coming on in place of Bruno. But if you are bringing on Ugarte, might as well bring on Mainoo. It's a Fulham away game. You're losing points. You need a spark. Like Mainoo is that sort of player who can like play a through ball or like put in a really great cross. Can Ugarte do that? I don't think so. And especially with like the way Euro and I think Dalot had a decent game as well. The way Euro was playing, especially, you need to take a sort of a positive risk. And with the form that Ugarte is in, I don't think it was a good substitution. So that is there. But mainly, I want to talk about Bruno Fernandes. See, Bruno is not going to have, a 10 out of 10 game every game. And also, he's not going to score every penalty which he takes. Like, the fan base is now turning on him suddenly. Like, Bruno is the reason Amorim will get sacked, all of this bullshit. Bro, like, that man scores almost every penalty. Like, he probably has, I don't know what percentile of conversion rate, but I swear it's a very rare thing to see him miss. So yes, it is kind of sad that he missed. He should have scored. But think of it this way: we created chances. We scored from a corner, by the way, which we don't usually do. We created chances. We got ourselves a penalty. So this is a game which we could have won like 2-1 or 3-1 or maybe more. I didn't really watch the entirety of it, but this is a game which we could have won that way. So why are you dishing it all out on the player who missed a penalty and who will score probably like 10 more penalties this season itself in all competitions? So like there is no point in criticizing Bruno for that. What you need to do as a fan base now, what we need to do is to hold Ruben Amorim accountable because like it's a very uncomfortable conversation. I know we all back him, we all love him. But come on man, like if Bruno is not having a good game, you need to take Bruno off. Like it's just, that's the basics of it. Like you have Kobbie Mainoo there, and it's not like you're bringing on some like academy player who hasn't proved himself. Like this is literally Kobbie Mainoo. Like you might as well like take Mount off, shift Bruno a little further forward, and then bring on Mainoo. But like, why? What are you saving Kobbie Mainoo for? It's not like I don't know. Like he did not have like a really bad or shit performance before he started getting benched. Nothing like that happened. Like it's just a positional thing, and obviously he'll lose the positional battle to Bruno. But the interesting thing is that Bruno is not a number 8. He's not a box to box midfielder like Mainoo is, right? But then again, he is Bruno, so he will start above Mainoo, obviously, like 9 times out of 10. But on the odd day that he's having a bad game, the day that he missed the penalty, you need to bring Mainoo on. Like this does not send a good message, especially to Kobbie Mainoo. Somebody who has come through the ranks, proved himself on the big stage, scoring bangers against Liverpool, scored in the final for us. Like, listen, if we are, not starting Shesko, and I'm just like from the next game, I am assuming that he will start, but like I'm just talking about the two games which we have played. If Shesko is not starting at striker, then why is Mount playing? Why can't we do this? Like Mainoo plays as the number 8 or the number 6 or whatever, and Bruno plays the number 10 position, and then Cunha up top. Like I think Mainoo deserves to start more than Mount does. Is if I might be wrong, I don't know. Like tell me in the comments. I don't think there will be a lot of people who will disagree with that opinion. But this brings me to the main point of this video, which is I actually read this like in a comment or somewhere that this team United is being run by Bruno-ism. Bruno-ism is this notion that Bruno Fernandes is like an irreplaceable demigod, and he's basically like a Messi for us, which he was last season, right? Last season I would not have said this, like don't sub him off and all of that bullshit. But this season we have the firepower in ahead of him. So like there's Mainoo, there's Cunha. Mount is also an option now. And Mainoo having like he had a sort of quiet last season, but like you can't waste away that potential, that talent on the bench, right? So with the firepower that we have ahead of Bruno, I've also mentioned this in a video that Cunha and Bruno are sort of in a conflict. Like in an ideal world, they would be fighting for that left number 10 position, but Bruno, like Amorim has sort of let Bruno like recline, fall back a little bit, and sit in that number 8 position, which he is not. He is not a box to box midfielder. This is something which Amorim needs to realize sooner or later. Like it's good that we have the options, but you need to tweak it a little bit. Like it won't work defensively as well as it will when you'll have like Mainoo and a holding midfielder. We all saw the Baleba edits, right? Mainoo and Baleba for the next 10 years, like make United great again, all of that bullshit. But yeah, like okay, fine, Mainoo is not a holding midfielder, but does that mean he does not deserve a single minute in the squad? Is he that bad? Like, come on, let's be real with ourselves now. On the off day that Bruno is having a bad game, why are we not benching him and letting Kobbie Mainoo come on? Or if you're starting Mount and if you're not starting Benjamin Sesko, and if you are playing Cunha as the number 9, false 9, whatever, why is Bruno not playing that left cam position and why is Mainoo not playing the number 8 position? Like it will work. Why won't it? There is no reason for it to not work. It's not like Mainoo does not have the composure to be a box to box midfielder. He does. In fact, he is, at least in terms of like losing the ball lesser and composure, I think I'd say he's better than Bruno in that sense. Like obviously he won't be that creative and that ambitious, but to clean up shit and to put those tackles in, I think Mainoo is obviously a better option, and Bruno might thrive even more in that left cam position, especially with someone like a Mbuemo to play alongside now. Obviously from further on, like and later into the season, we will like the front three will be sorted obviously. So this is going to be an interesting conversation for then, क्योंकि देखो कभी कभी ब्रूनो को बेंच करना पड़ेगा. इट्स जस्ट द सैड रियलिटी ऑफ इट. अब देखो हमने मेनू को पिछले से पिछले सीजन और पिछले सीजन भी एक्चुअली सीडीएम खिला के देख लिया था. He is not really a CDM. He's not a Casemiro. He does get exposed a little bit in that position. He does get out muscled, out bodied. Um, that goal we conceded to Liverpool comes to mind in their Minecraft kit. Menu lost the ball. For was it Szoboszlai? I don't remember. He set it up for Mo Salah, obviously. So it's a very tough situation. Like, how is a player of Menu's quality rotting away on the bench? The answer to that is this Bruno-ism, which has taken a hold of this United camp. Because I get that he had 30 plus goal assists last season. I get that he was insane. Like he was crazy. Matlab, it was some 2018-19 Messi level carry job last season. Like there is no doubt about that. But if it's not working, it's an away game. It's a it's just you need something different. You can tweak it a little bit. Like he is not a demigod. You can't. It's not like he's irreplaceable. You need to take these players off sometimes, especially when you have someone like a Kobbie Mainoo on the bench. So yeah, that is basically the gist of this video. I feel like Amorim is very what would you call it? I feel like Amorim is sort of very his stance on letting Bruno play the full 90 is very strong, and you can't blame him. But there comes a time when you need to tweak things a little bit. क्योंकि देखो, I get that last like Bruno is someone who will win his game single-handedly a lot of the times, na. But last season, whenever Bruno turned up, मतलब basically the entire season, but we did concede a lot of goals as well, didn't we? We did get outrun in the midfield, didn't we? So the point is, like, if he is that good, then maybe he should be fighting for that left number 10 spot and not for the midfield spot, like number 8 spot with Kobbie Mainoo. Maybe that is something to think about. And I think a few more games and we will have, as a fan base, I think we should reach a sort of clear stance on this. But only when Kobbie Mainoo has gotten, a respectable amount of time to play as a box to box midfielder. And with it now being sort of clear that we won't sign a holding midfielder, I think Ugarte really needs to step it up now. Like, at this rate, we are going to lose games if Manuel Ugarte plays because Casemiro can't be trusted for the full 90, obviously. He does not have the legs anymore. And Kobbie Mainoo is just not a holding midfielder. Like, even if you play him as a makeshift, it won't work, especially in the big games when you're up against, like, the Caicedos, the basically like the dogs. And in the Premier League, basically every team has those players. You will get out muscled in the Prem, obviously. So yeah, that is drop my mic. That is the gist of this video, and yeah, I'll see you guys in the Carabao Cup preview or the match reaction. Hopefully after a United win. So see you then.